Well, good evening, internets. It's a Saturday night, and it's, almost 9:35 Central Daylight Time, and I'm going live for another Bookward Bound. What is Bookward Bound? It's my 301-day journey from, I should really do this, to done when it comes to the creation of a brand new book that I will be self-publishing in January of 2021. In fact, my goal, which I will attain, is to have print-ready files all ready for uploading on January 1st, 2021. Now, it'll probably take the rest of the month to go through all the rigmarole you have to do to get a book up on Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing space and all that stuff, proofing the book, getting high-quality proofs, printed proofs of the book, things like that. But I will have that book done early in 2021. And I'm doing it live. Well, I'm progressing the book forward every night in one way or another during these live streams. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to open up Restream Chat, which is a chat client that's part of Restream.io, because right now I am live streaming to YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitch, if all my connections are correct. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them by typing in the comment box wherever you're viewing this, and I'll be able to answer your questions or deal with your comments, etc. I welcome them because I love distractions. That said, I actually have to do something tonight to move this book forward. And what I'm thinking of is I think I'm going to go through the first part of the book. I guess you could call it an introduction. And I'm going to read through it all, proof it, do a little bit of editing of this section that if you look right here, hold on, you can see the section I'm talking about. And especially over here, let me get my cursor showing you that little blue flag for this section. I am not a fiction writer. That blue flag means, hey, David, you've written this section. It's pretty much done, but it has not been final proofed or edited. And so that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm just going to read through this. I'm going to clean some stuff up. I'm going to maybe add to it if I find some holes, because that's not unusual to find some holes in what I've written. And I'm going to fill them and get this to a point where I can award it the coveted green flag. There's only one other section that's got a green flag, and that's the one I worked on last night. The green flag means, in my coded parlance, hey, dude, this is ready to go to print. So this section, which really explains kind of the raison d'etre for this book. Why did I write it? Well, I am not a fiction writer. This book is called NONFICTION BRAND, Discovering, Crafting, and Communicating the Completely True, Completely You brand you already are. Well, why did I write this book? Well, as I said, because I'm not a fiction writer. A long time ago, at the very start of my copywriting career, I worked at a certain ad agency in Atlanta, Georgia. It's not hard to figure out which one, just look on LinkedIn. But for now, see, I'm missing a word, but for now, let's maintain the fig leaf of anonymity for the moment. But for now, let's for a moment. Where I worked is not important. What I learned there is. It all started one ordinary day when I received a creative brief for a print ad. A creative brief is a multi-page document labored over by an earnest, diligent account manager who has worked out the details of a given project with the client. And in general, the creative brief is something frequently ignored by the creatives assigned to that project. Oh, allergies. Ignored by the creatives assigned to the project. And in general, the creative brief is something frequently ignored by the creatives assigned to the project. I, as the designated copywriter, did exactly that. Ignore the vast majority of the creative brief, but focused with hawk-like intensity on the copy points it contained. Again, for those fortunate enough never to have cracked the seal on a creative brief, copy points were the rubber hits the road facts, specifications, and messages the client wished to convey via the selected advertising channel. I think this should actually be part of the same paragraph. And in this case, the copy points were very terse. Very terse. I want to go very terse. Da-da simple. So, very terse. Da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba. Very terse. Da-da-da-da. So I want a da-da-da-da. Crazy simple. All right. It's not just very terse. How about shallow and simple? Shallow and simple. And entirely unsatisfactory. Write some stuff. That's the only copy point I saw. That was the only I saw because it was the only copy point listed. And I was pissed. So I like the list pissed rhyme there. Only copy point listed. And I was pissed. So I grabbed my copy of the creative brief, marched down the hall to the moron account manager who scribbled the brief, who, it's not even scribbled, it's who scribbled the brief to have a conversation about its lack. Its complete lack of specificity and clarity. The first words out of my mouth were direct, just a little bit attitudinal. And just a little bit just a little bit salty. Dude, what the hell is this? That interrogative was immediately followed by the words making up the title of this section of the book. Why? Because when it comes to writing advertising and marketing copy, I have absolutely no problem buffing a turd to a high sheen, but said turd needs to be based on an inalterable foundation, the truth. On the truth. Cutting to the chase, everything turned out fine. At the end of the day. End of the day. Everything turned out fine. I did indeed write some stuff. The client signed off on the ad with no great problem or concern, and all were happy. Except me. I am not a fiction writer. That's not to say I couldn't write fiction if I wanted to, which, thank the stars, you do not have to be exposed to. But if I'm writing ad copy, it's got to have at least a whiff of truth about it. How about scintilla? At least a scintilla of truth about it. But this incident really got me thinking for something like 22 years with this. If I'm not a fiction writer, what am I? That's a good question. One worth a couple of decades of pondering. And so I have. What I realized is that I am, in fact, a nonfiction writer. But my internal realization didn't stop there. Look, I got a weird bracket in there. It began extending itself into the larger topic of branding, eventually leading to the writing of the book you're holding right now. If I learned one thing over, what is it, the term of my career that I will take to, if I've learned only one thing over the term of my career that I will take to my grave and scream out all the way and scream out all the way there. It's this. Branding is all about simplicity, and simplicity is hard. But worry not, gentle brander. I'm going to walk you through this thicket of complexity, sharing what little I've learned over the years in such a way that you'll fling this book down when finished and yell, well, that's pretty darn obvious. Because that's the way truth works. Initially obscure, then immediately recognizable when illuminated by even the weakest of light sources. By the weakest illumination. How about that? Illumination. When recognizable when illuminated, not illuminated by the weakest. Go back to what it was. But immediately recognizable when illuminated by the weakest, by even the weakest. Then immediately recognizable when illuminated by even the weakest of light sources. That's the way nonfiction works. And the way nonfiction branding does too. This book is my hard-earned philosophy recorded for posterity. Hopefully you'll be able to get something out of it, especially the motivation to put yourself out there, to reclaim what is uniquely yours, and to help make our shared world just a little bit better place to live and do business. By sharing your unique voice to demonstrate exactly who you are, what you do, and how you do it. There's only one you. There's only one you. You. There's only one you. So don't be afraid to, I don't know. So let's read that whole last thing, shall we? This book is my hard-earned philosophy recorded for posterity. Hopefully you'll be able to get something out of it, especially the motivation to put yourself out there, to reclaim what is uniquely yours, and to help make our shared world just a little bit better place. A little bit better place. I don't want too long a sentence. How? Question mark. By sharing your unique voice and demonstrating exactly who you are, what you do, and how you do it. This book is my hard-earned philosophy recorded for posterity. Hopefully you'll be able to get something out of it, especially the motivation to put yourself out there, to reclaim what is uniquely yours, and to help make our shared world just a little bit better place to live and work. To live. Just a little bit better place to live. How? By sharing your unique voice and demonstrating unique. How many times do I have unique in this paragraph? Uniquely. To reclaim what is completely. How about completely yours? Yours. How? By sharing your unique voice and demonstrating exactly who you are, what you do, and how you do it. Via your. I'm getting completely in there. Completely true. Completely you. Personal brand. So I got to come up with a different word for that. To reclaim what is. Well, this is where a dictionary comes out. You know, the dictionary in Apple's dictionary is actually pretty good, especially when you download the extra dictionaries like the thesaurus. And I've got Latin, German, English, French, Wikipedia too. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to look for a different word for completely. Entirely. How about that? Reclaim what is entirely yours? Absolutely. To reclaim what is entirely. This is why you look up synonyms. sometimes you just want to say the same, use the same word in a couple of different ways in the same paragraph. You can't do that because in the case down here, I've got completely twice, but that's for effect. Completely true, completely you. Great. I cannot have completely up here where it was said where it said entirely, and I can't have unique because I had originally uniquely there, but then right after that, by sharing your unique voice, I can't have that. So I need to search for a word, and one of the fastest way to do it is to crack open your dictionary, which, if you're a user of macOS, comes right with the computer. It's not the absolute best dictionary, but the best dictionary is the one you can open in a nanosecond and then get right back to work. And so I'm saying that this is a pretty good dictionary. All right, I'm just double checking that I've got my type at the right sizes. So this should be 11. I don't know why this does this way. Period. Or why can't I go DP Knudten? And I'm actually going to put down 1.1.2021 because that's when this book is going to be done. So, yay. Scrivener down here at the very bottom. Hopefully you can see it. 688 words. That's really handy. So that shows me that I'm thinking that this book is going to have about 350 words a page, maybe 300 words, 350. So this will be about 2 pages, 2 and a little more maybe, when it's finally done and paged out. We'll see, but yeah, cool. So guess what this section has earned? Yeah, that's right. It's earned. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. I want to change icon to green. I got another green section done. Yay! That's cool. So, but take a look. I've got so many red sections to write. Oh my gosh. So I need to work on that a little bit harder. I think some of those things I'm going to have to work at actually during the day, not during a live stream. But maybe what I'll do is I'll write it during the day and then during the live stream, go through it, make changes and edit, stuff like that. So that way I can talk a little bit more, explain what I'm doing, make this live stream something more than me going, just me mumbling at the screen, which I do a little too much. But I think that's it for tonight. So I'm feeling good about that. Progress the book forward. I'll post this. One of the cool things is, as I write this book, I do it live in front of you, and then I take those and I turn it into a blog post on my dpknudten.com /DP_POV, I think. Just go to dpknudten.com and look under DP_POV blog. Maybe I should just change that to blog. Yeah, I probably will in the navigation. It's just easier to say go to dpknudten.com /blog, and you'll see what I'm calling BOOKWARD BOUND daily build. So that which I do the night before, I take all those keystrokes and turn it into a blog post so you can see the book in action. And if you're really, really cheap and never want to buy the book, you'll be able to read the whole book a little bit at a time, blog post by blog post, without having to purchase it. Now, I would love you to buy the book when it comes out, but I understand if you can't afford it. That's cool. I think that's it for tonight. So I'm going to kick it over to my main hero cam that makes me look so damn attractive and say to you, thank you so much for helping me out by making me keep myself honest, by getting myself down here at 9:59 p.m. on a Saturday night to at least move my book forward one little piece more. That's the only way I'm going to get this done. A couple of metaphors and analogies I've been using to describe this book are the old analogy about how to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So I took a small bite out of the elephant today. Elephant. Love it. The other illusion, the Greek myth illusion I'm thinking about a lot is that of Sisyphus, the gentleman who was damned for eternity to roll a spherical ball of stone up a hill only to have it fall back down again. Well, in my case, I'm chipping a little bit off that stone and taking that chip and walking it up to the top of the mountain and putting the chip there. And by the end of this, I'm going to have chipped away that stone and gotten it all the way to the top of the mountain by January 1st, 2021. Not in a little bit because of you. Thank you. I'm DP Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand podcast. The podcast comes out, a new episode premieres every Monday, and this Monday is no exception. In fact, it's a really interesting conversation with Dana Sanchez, a new friend of mine that I met at Social Media Marketing World this past March, and it turned out to be a really cool conversation. And one of the first episodes where I barely talked at all. And I'm very proud of myself for that because I talk too damn much. I'm aware of that, by the way. So don't tell me that. I am aware of that. But Dana, I got her going and she told her story in a really fun way. So check that out. You can get it anywhere you get your podcast for free, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, blah, 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 blah. Just about any place. So just look up Nonfiction Brand and you'll be able to find that. And please like, subscribe, refer, and review the podcast. That would really, really help me if you would give the podcast a review, an honest review. I'm not one about anything but honesty and integrity and authenticity. So if you like it, give it 5 stars. If you kind of like it, give it 5 stars. Do whatever you want, but please let me know what you think. That's it for me tonight. So theme music, take us on out. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you next time.